I'll let you get started.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Jordan. Okay. Injury front. Alex Wright is, I'd say day to day with the quad injury. We'll see how this week goes. Dylan Gabriel cleared concussion protocol. Aiden Huntington has that quad injury. Brendan Bates with the ankle injury. I'd say both those guys are in the weeks. So they'll out this week. We'll see how that goes over the next couple of days. I'll have a better sense. Obviously, in the game, like we talked about, great to get a road win for this football team. Some really, really good moments on all three sides of the ball. And now we got to build on it. We have to have a big one at our place. We're excited to be back home in front of our fans versus a very good football team who's playing tonight. So we'll do some TV scouting this evening, but we got to be about our business this week. Have a great week of practice. With Thanksgiving week, obviously there's always different schedules and that type of thing. So we have to really be good about our process. This week will be a big focus for us. Shador will start this week. Obviously, number one job of a quarterback is to win. So excited to get that first win under his belt. And then next thing is improvement. And that's what young players do. Certainly young quarterbacks do. You get one game better, and that's just from working at it. So that'll be our focus. But with that, I'll take any questions.
All right, Mary Kay, what do you got?
Yeah, well, I was going to ask if Shador was going to start, but now that you announced that for us, just when you went back and you looked at the film, what were some of the things that you felt that he really did good, other than the obvious? We know that he pushed the ball downfield a little bit, but what were some of the other nuances of his game?
Well, obviously, first start for any young quarterback, you're always going to make sure that the operation is how you want it. And I thought by and large was good. There's things that we can clean up. And obviously that goes on all of us. That's coaches, that's the players, the quarterback, where we can clean up some of our operation. But I thought communication was really good throughout the day with him. And then, like you mentioned, the big plays down the field. Obviously that first one to IB was very, very high degree of difficulty with that play. Are there things that he can do better? Absolutely. We've already talked about that with him. He has the mentality that he will, make the adjustments to the speed of the game, make the adjustments to what people are giving us to make those improvements.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll hear from Scott.
Hey, Kevin. Shedder talked about how it took him a while to get adjusted to not being the starter, right? That was a role that he was not used to. Could you see him get so much more comfortable last week when he was back in that role?
Without a doubt. And I think, again, there's such an adjustment for players coming out of college, regardless of position. But think about when you've started your whole life in high school and college, and then there is that transition, and that comes for everybody. But the message we always have around here is you have to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And the life of a backup player, whether quarterback or otherwise, it's a grind. You really got to work when nobody's watching and those type of things. Now, once you do get that into that starter role, that's when the reps come. That's when the game plan is really built around your comfort level and those type of things. So it's only natural that players in that position feel more comfortable, and that's our job as coaches to continue to tweak and adjust and make sure that we're leaning into what our players do best.
And how did you see him make a jump in handling pressure slash blitzes yesterday from that Ravens game?
Well, obviously, like we talked about, made a big play versus an all-out pressure. That's going to be something that you always have to anticipate. Defensive coordinators blitz young quarterbacks. It's just what they do, and we have to look at that as an opportunity, certainly in the pass game, to make big plays. So that's a focus for us moving forward.
Thanks.
Next, we'll go to Jeff.
Hey, Kevin, I'm going to ask you about Jerry Jeudy. Were you pleased with his effort yesterday? It looked to me like he really slowed down before he fumbled that ball.
I think he was setting the player in front of him up to make a move there, Jeff. He will be better. That's really a play that we expect him to make. That's a huge play for our football team. We're about to get 7 points, if not 3, on that drive, and that's a big play for us. And Jerry knows this, and we remind him and remind our players it's always the guy that you can't see that they're coming. So I don't think it was a loaf. It was a lack of ball security technique.
And then just to follow that, though, when we talked to him on Wednesday, he was very short with his answers. I know that that's not a big part for you, but his interview lasted less than 2 minutes, and his words like 3 or 4 word answers. So is anything bothering him?
No, I think Jerry's got the right attitude. He wants to win. Obviously, when you're not winning, that certainly can affect your mood, if you can imagine. But he's focused on winning.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we'll hear from Ashley next.
Hey, Kevin, I guess, is there any point with Miles? Is there anything he can do that would surprise you? And like Joel was even joking, 3 sacks is kind of a down day for him at this point.
Yeah, like I talked to you guys before. I would say watch Miles play the run. Yeah, and listen, I get that sacks get a ton of attention. That's our game, and everybody knows the stats and the records and all that thing. But man, we focus on playing sound, hard football. And I think if you watch Miles play, watch him play the backside of the run in that game where they tried to put a jet sweep in front of him, he closed and made the tackle. I mean, those are high level plays. They don't get the same attention that the sacks may get, but they're as important to us as anything. It's part of our DNA is just playing really, really hard. And you watch number 95 out there, he is playing really hard down in and down out.
And then just looking at the interior guys on that line and, the fact that you're getting pressure from Malik, Mason, Mike Hall, Shelby, like, is this what you guys envisioned when Jim got here and wanting that interior pressure? And how has that impacted Miles and really like enhanced his production too?
I think whether it's inside or outside or opposite Miles or 2 miles aside, I think the relentless nature of which these guys are playing is our DNA. That's how we play. So what you're seeing is our identity on display. And obviously when you have a player like Miles, he's going to get a lot of attention. Just watch that game or every game, the tight end's going to which side he's on. The running back oftentimes will make his way over there. The slide may make its way to his side. So it only presents opportunities for everybody else. And those are the effects of having a player of Miles's caliber.
All right, next we'll go to Fred.
All right, Kevin. I know at this point of the season, you probably don't consider them rookies, but of all the rookies, seem like 9 of them had prominent games. I mean, all the touchdowns were, in effect, a combination of the rookies, the setup, the touchdowns. Can you just talk about that group, especially on the offensive side?
Sure. Like we've talked really all season long, Fred, that these are players that we're counting on. These are guys that we trust, and they're wired the right way. And that's the thing that I get to see on a everyday basis of how they approach their job, how they go to work, how they work on their craft, how they push each other. And then obviously to make plays on Sundays is a result of all that work. So it's fun for me as a coach to see the development of these young men with their coaches and how much work they're putting into it. And then to be able to see that work and see the fruits of the labor, so to speak, on Sunday is a testament to what these guys are doing in this building throughout this season.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll hear from Cam.
Hey, Kevin, I know you talked about Dylan Sampson and his day last night, but what have you seen from him? I know all of the rookies have kind of stood out, but Dylan Sampson feels like a guy that's kind of waited and worked for his opportunity. What have you seen in regards to him taking advantage of the opportunity when it was presented to him?
He's done everything that we've asked him to do, Cam, going back to the second he was here. We've had him do a variety of jobs on offense. He's a kick returner for us. So he will really do whatever we ask him to do. He's always ready. I think we can definitely do a better job of getting him involved early and often with Quinshawn. We just feel like there's a lot of opportunities for all these players, and he's definitely earned a role like that.
I know we kind of only talk about the kicker and misses, but Andre Schmidt has seemed to really have a resurgence after some of those early season struggles. What have you seen from him in terms of bouncing back from some of those things early and being able to be consistent for you guys?
Yeah, I think that's the word, Cam, is consistent. And I think he's displayed that in games, and I get to see it in practice. I think he's performed really, really well in practice. I think he's got the right mentality. He's wired the right way. Somebody that we trust to come through for us when called upon.
Thanks.
All right, we'll go to Daniel next.
And then I just want to do like a little injury roundup and follow up to your stuff. Is IR a possibility for Brendan or Aiden Huntington?
I'd say possibility, but not sure where that lands.
All right, and then there was a moment when Quinshawn got kind of banged up, went to the injury tent. It looked like the unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant was in there, and then he tried to come back in. He was taken out. Can you provide some clarity on just what happened there, and was he officially like checked and cleared for a concussion?
Yeah, both times. I think he came out the first time because he fell on the ball, and then they called the independent doc called from up top, brought him out, checked him, and he was good to go, and was cleared again this morning. So he's good to go.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just wondering, I'm sorry, just wondering if this is sort of a week-to-week thing that you're doing with the quarterbacks now that Dylan has cleared the concussion protocol. Are you just going to watch and see if Shedeur can build on what he did when he plays against the 49ers and just kind of go from there?
Yeah, I'm just going to focus on this week, Mary Kay. Not going to get much past this week.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to Scott. Scott, you good? No? All right, we'll come back to you. We'll go to Spencer. Spencer, you're muted. No. All right, we're having some tech issues. Let's go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Kevin, just wondering, it seemed to me, and I still have to watch the game over again another time, but one thing that stood out to me about Shedeur was that he was really tough in the face of the rush. I mean, he had, Max Crosby and another guy bearing down on him on the bond play, and there were other ones where he didn't flinch. I mean, he just got the ball off when he was just about to be drilled. So what did he show you about his toughness in that regard?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I have no questions about his toughness. That was part of watching the tape, evaluating him. You know how tough Shedeur is. So I think the protection, by and large, was good. We took one sack, which was really a coverage sack early in the game. But there's definitely room for improvement with Shedeur versus the pressures and the movement. There's definitely room for improvement with how we structure it. So that's what when I talked earlier about things that we can improve upon. There's always going to be things that we point out as coaches that we can get better at. But the ability to move within the pocket, withstand against pressure for a young quarterback is always going to be a big point of emphasis.
Did he move about how you thought he would? Or did he maybe even exceed your expectations a little bit in the QB movement realm?
I think that's a strength of his, Mary Kay, his ability to move and play off schedule. So that's something, again, that we saw evaluating Shedeur throughout the process.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll go back to Daniel.
All right, I'm gonna try to sneak another 2-for-1 in here. It looked like there were two occasions where Shedeur tried to attempt some deep passes. One was to Jerry, another one was to Sed on third down, and it looked like they kind of stopped running in the middle of the route. Just would you characterize that as a miscommunication, or what's kind of the teaching point there? And then why did you decide to punt late in the game? I think it was from the Raiders 29. Why did you decide to punt instead of take the field goal?
Yeah, the first part of the question, we need to be better. Obviously, weren't on the same page, and that's in those third downs we have to be. On the second one, could have gone for it, could have attempted a field goal, but just felt like with where the game was, just wanted to be conservative there and make sure that game ended shortly thereafter.
I figured on that last point. Thank you.
All right, and this is the last one from Scott, but I'm going to read it to help him with some of his tech issues. He wanted to ask if that was Mason's best game, and what did you like about it?
Yeah, I thought Mason was very, very disruptive, very active, both in the run and the pass. I mean, the entire defensive line obviously was assaulting the pocket throughout the game, but Mason continues to be a player that is harassing the quarterback, is around the ball, is making plays in the run game. So I do think again, another young player that, like we've talked about all season long, these young players get better. They improve, and it's not just because the calendar's changing. It's because they're putting the work in. So I definitely put Mason in that group of players as well.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks,
Okay,
Coach.
thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, guys, we have Maliek Collins ready to go. So if you guys want to get questions ready. All right, everyone, we have Maliek here, so we will start calling on you for questions. Ashley, we'll go with you for the first one.
Hey Malik, I know we talked to you last night, but one of the other things I wanted to ask you really quick was about just the fact you guys got to play with a lead so much of this game, and in this kind of scheme, how beneficial is that for you guys, especially just with the attacking up front?
That's what we've been praying on all season, is just to have a lead to where we can go out there and just, rush and be able to really just have a lead and being able to stop the run. Is really what gives us the most sack opportunities. That's what we really want in general. So that's what we've been praying for.
And then Miles last night after we talked to you said that you are one of the most unique rushers he's been around because of your combination of finesse and power that you play with. I guess like what's that like to hear from him with how well he's been playing and all of that?
It's dope to hear from Miles. I think that's one of the things that you play for, is the respect of your peers, and then respect of your peers, and coming from a player of caliber of Miles, I think it means a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Malik, just wondering, in all your years in the NFL, have you ever played with somebody as good as Miles? And have you ever witnessed someone play as good as Miles?
I think the statistics will show and say no. So I got to go with statistics on that. I mean, the guy about to break the sack record, Lord willing, you know. So I mean, and then having these games that he's been having lately, it's like the sky is really the limit. Like whatever he put his mind to, he can achieve. And I see the little personal notes he write himself. I see how he come in. I mean, the type of positivity he speak with. Um, just the things that he wants to accomplish in his career. And I mean, honestly, I don't think I've ever been around a more driven person in my career or played with a more driven person just based on how he goes about his days, how infatuated he is with, you know, getting to the quarterback, but also just with his all around play and how his lifestyle in general, the way he take care of his body, just yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Uh,
Okay, Scott next.
Hey Malik, I wanted to ask you about Mason. We've talked about him before, but was that the best game that you've seen from him yesterday? And if so, what did you like so much?
I feel like Mason. I feel like Mason been heating up. Really since it's been just a long process for him. But I feel like he's been getting better each week. I think he really jumped off the charts last week. He just didn't come down with the sack numbers. And again, this week he didn't really just get the sack numbers, but he been rushing. I mean, best is best as we got. You know, he been rushing his tail off. So I mean, I appreciate him and you know the way he comes to work too. How he just continues to get better, and the kid wants it.
He seems quiet when we talk to him, but then yesterday, he's running over linemen. He drills Genty, in the fourth
Right.
quarter there. What kind of attitude does he play with?
I mean, I think that just shows the type of swag and the type of attitude that he got, the type of aura he plays with, and that's why we picked him number 5 overall.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, Cam next.
Hey, Malik, I have another Mason question. When we talked to him from the summer to now, he's kind of always mentioned you as a guy that he watches and tries to maybe pick apart some pieces of your game, emulate some of it. What does it mean to you to know that the rookies are looking at you as a leader? Obviously, Myles Garrett's on the line, but they're looking at and trying to take parts of your game as well.
For sure. I think that's just what comes with being a leader or just being a person that, you know, people want to follow. Um, I think I look at them too. I want to compete with them and make sure that I'm holding up my end of the bargain. I know that they're guys. I know I'm like one of the vets in the room, so I know I got to be leading by example. So as I'm stringing together rushes, I want to teach them the same way how to string together rushes so that they can be. You know, I just want to make sure that they lead a game. I want to make sure I lead a game better than what I came in.
And then for you guys, for you really fitting into this defense, we know that Jim Schwartz calls it the engine of the defense is that offensive line. How have you felt like you have encapsulated that and maybe embodied that goal of trying to be as disruptive as possible up front to make the entire defense operate the way that it is now?
Yeah, I think it's a saying that we go by. I can't really say it on here. It's a little bit of cussing in it, but you know, that's our job is to disrupt, and the guys behind us is to clean up. So, I mean, I like that motto. That's how I've always played. And I think it's an easy way of playing. You don't have to be worried about, hey, I got to do this or stay in this gap, or I mean, it's you got all type of responsibilities, but it's a certain freedom that it allows you to play with.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Jeff for this one.
Hey, Malik, I have 2 questions. One, a game like Shedeur had yesterday, how does that carry over to the defense?
I think we talked about it earlier. It's just like playing with a lead. or just like the energy that comes with 12, man. He a funny dude. He always positive. He always he's just a good dude to be around, man. My locker is kind of cat a corner from him. As I know y'all probably see in the locker room, but he's just a good dude to be around. Always got good vibes. Inspirational, and I mean, he want to be legendary. He want to be great. So I mean, you see those type of qualities and the way that he prepares, and the way that I mean, he played his first NFL start yesterday. So and we came out victorious. So that was something that we can feed off of.
And to piggyback off that, how can that game carry over into what you have in front of you the rest of the season?
I mean, I just think you take it one game at a time. Each game is his own, it's his own game. So you focus on one game at a time. I mean, everybody got to hold up their end of the bargain. We got to continue to play complementary football. I think that was something that was talked about earlier in the season, was just playing complementary football, and I think that's something that was on display yesterday.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Malik, just wondering, it really seems like your mentorship and your leadership has been so beneficial to the younger defensive tackles, obviously including Mason. Um, how important do you feel that is in a room to have a longtime veteran in there to show the way, and who served that role for you?
I think I had a number of people serve that role for me. And then also just not in the room, it's Shelby in the room too. And
Yeah.
I know this year 12 for him, and he's always a positive influence. And I think for who served that role for me, I mean, I played with plenty of people. I played with Michael Bennett, Tyrone Crawford, Robert Quinn, just different people that helped me along my way, to help me understand like what type of rusher I was or what type of player I was, and to hold myself to that high standard each and every time I step on the field. And I had a message from Michael Bennett last night, and was just like, keep going, bro. And it was just like, just to know that he's still watching, even after he's been out the game for 5-6 years now. And that's just, just different people I looked up to when I was coming up in the game.
Thank you.
All right, last call for questions for Malik. All right, thanks, Malik. Appreciate it.
For sure, appreciate it.
All right, guys, we'll let you know when Dylan Sampson is here and ready to go. Are you still on? All right, everyone, we have Dylan here. You want to raise your hands with questions? We will call on you. Dylan, you good? You're unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yep, all good. All right, first question, we'll go to Cam.
Hey, Dylan, I know that you've been kind of working really hard, waiting for your opportunity to come to be able to break free, and have that big gain yesterday. What did that feel like, and how much of a testament is that to the work that you've been putting in throughout this season, waiting for that opportunity?
No, it felt great, to kind of come up in a big moment, kind of put some closing finishes to the dub we got yesterday. But yeah, this season kind of been long for me, just staying down, staying the course, working every single day at practice, doing what I can, but um, you know, this is the moments you work for. You work for opportunities like this, and you got to take advantage of it.
And Shador will get the start next week. What can you say about his debut start and what you saw out of him as a guy who's been working with him since the spring?
Yeah, I mean, I just think you see in the terms of way I think how he views himself, he has a lot of confidence in himself. And you could tell by the way he just handles his business and the way he carries himself. But, I think he went out there and he played hard. He was very competitive and a team player as well, though, good or bad, came back to the sideline, let everybody know we straight, gonna keep out there, keep going. So, I mean, that's what you want in a person. And it's only going to get better as we continue to go.
Thank you.
Okay, next we're going to Mary Kay.
Yeah, Dylan, can you maybe address a little bit about sort of the energy and the fun that he brings? I mean, it was I'm sure fans had a good time watching you guys, with the wrists up and the celebrations and just kind of just the juice and the energy he brought. Can you kind of address that a little bit?
Uh, I mean, I think it's just kind of the person he is, just kind of the way he grew up, the lifestyle he was around. I mean, also, again, speaks to just the confidence he has in himself, the way he goes about this game is very unique in his own way, and I mean, in a turn, it kind of, affects everybody else, around, And so, I mean, we all have different relationships with each other, so, and that's just the kind of relationship that he brings on.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Dylan, when things were going the way they were earlier in the season, you weren't getting a ton of carries, you weren't having a ton of success. Did your confidence waver at all?
No, no, because I have utmost faith, in my, in my abilities and the things that I do. A lot of things were circumstantial, a lot of things were out of my control, but obviously when you sitting there kind of like that, you just want to be able to affect the game positively in any way, So, I mean, when I started getting more kick returns, I wanted to affect the game positively, in that aspect, So, whatever it's like going forward, I just want to continue to fight for more opportunities and more ways to just impact this team in the best way possible.
Then what did it mean to you when the coaches kept saying, whether it's Kevin or Tommy or whoever, that, hey, we think he can have a big impact and we're going to try to get him more involved, even if they hadn't necessarily seen that production yet?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I really do not know anything that was being said in the media from them, I don't really pay attention to it. All I know is what they tell me day in, day out. Um, the way I go to work, and all I could do is put my best foot forward and trust that they see that, And obviously in this league, you need to make plays on Sundays for that to keep coming, So um I was, glad, I was able to make some plays yesterday for this team and, you know, we're gonna continue to, make it happen.
Thanks.
Okay, next we'll go to Ashley.
Hey, Dylan, I know after the game yesterday, you talked about after that Cincinnati game when your touches were, fewer in the next handful of games, putting your head down and figuring out ways you could improve. So just wondering what some of the things were that you tried to improve and what you were doing to do that.
I think the main thing for me was stacking just consistent good days at practice, whether it was dialed into the playbook, you know, showing that I knew everything about the playbook, about the game plan, day in, day out, and I think the main thing was just continue to work my craft and just be patient, I mean, that's what this league is about, and, you know, when the opportunity comes, you have to make the play. So that's just my mindset, and that's how I go about things.
Is that kind of like your mindset too when you're in a game and you have the handful of negative rushing plays, but then you're able to break off an explosive run, or you have the 66-yard reception? Like, is that your mindset of even if those negative plays are coming in the moment?
Yes, I mean, it has to be. It has to be because, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if I were to be getting about, you know, starting running back so touches, a couple of those plays will be probably negative just because, like, every game that happens, you play good defense, you play great players, but the thing that could probably get into it with players like me mentally is like I don't get as many of those plays. So when I do get a negative, having to, make sure I stay mentally strong, knowing that if I do get another opportunity, all I'm worried about is that next play, and it is hard, but you got to put it out your mind to like put the team forward and, continue to just do as best you can for the team.
Thanks.
Okay, Mary Kay.
Dylan, what's it like when you're watching Harold Fannin break a bunch of tackles and get that yak that he was getting yesterday? And then sort of the follow-up to that is just about all of you guys, your whole entire rookie class just really showing out, and just how exciting that is for all of you.
Yeah, first with Harold, man, I me and him kind of started building a great connection over these past few weeks, past couple games. I love Harold. I love the way he works. He's just one of those people that I say he's just good at football. Like, I can't explain it, and he's also one of the youngest people in this class along with me, so it's fun to kind of have, guys like that around you on your team, and it's motivating, because when nobody's fighting, Harold is always fighting, like regardless of the score, regardless of the game. So like it's a testament to him and just his mindset and how he attacks the various roles that they are asking him to do on this offense at very young age, And as far as our rookie class, that's motivational as well. I think we're all contributing, drafted and undrafted, to this team in a positive manner, and it's only up for here if we continue to, do the right things, continue to get great coaching and learn as much as we can from the guys that came before us. It makes you proud about this class though,
Yeah, thank you.
All right, back to Cam.
You talk about the rookie class and Quinshawn. I know in the summer we were talking to both of you guys about the potential of being like a 1-2 punch and complementing each other. As you guys have started to get a feel for the game and find your roles, where do you think that has taken itself, and where do you think it can go with the two of you in the backfield?
I think over these past couple weeks, coaches have been trying to, figure out a rotation pattern, and things like that. And it's different skill sets we have, and like you said, I think we both getting a feel for this game. The more games we play in and more things like that, the more confidence we get. But I mean, I think the sky's the limit just with the way both of us play. I think we both play hard. I think we both have unique things that we both could bring to this offense and to this league, and what it could be. I mean, I think in terms of just the staple that some of the other teams have now, with, like teams in Detroit or like what the Saints used to have. It's like I believe it can be that, and I'm gonna work for it to be that every single day.
Thank you.
All right, back to Scott.
Hey, Dylan, maybe playing off that, why do you think the Wildcat has been so successful the couple of times you guys have used it near the goal line?
I just think any running back, when you get down there, like certain people, it's just the mindset, like it's getting in the end zone. It's 2 yards away. And if you look at Quinshawn, a lot of his runs, he's not getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, some plays are, but like most of the times he's fighting even in the open field. So you just take that into account in the red zone. It's just a mindset. Like, regardless if somebody isn't blocked, it's like me and you, I'm getting in the end zone. And I think every time he gets down there, it doesn't matter if the defense knows what's coming. Like, he has that mindset. All of our old linemen and the blockers have that mindset when we get down there, like, we have to score. 3 points is not enough,
Gotcha. Thanks.
All right, Mary Kay, do you have one more? You're good? Yep, you're good. All right.